Hi there. Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. So, we're here to do the Monday night show we always do, which is look back at a classic rock album. The album I've chosen for today is Buffalo Springfield's debut album, released originally in November of 1966. However, the version I have here was released in March of 1967. And I know that because when I tried to do the copy of the tracks, I used the Wikipedia to do so. And once I started to copy it, I realized that the stack, the way in which I have them on the back of the album isn't the way they had them. So I went down and looked, and yeah, sure enough, this was the 67 version of it. So, anyways, this was recorded at Gold Star and Columbia Studios in Los Angeles, California. It's about 32, almost 33 minutes in length. So below that wheelhouse part where that I like, between 35 and 45 minutes. So it's a fairly short album. It's on Atco Records, and it was produced by Charles Green and Brian Stone. Excellent album. Also featuring in the band, we have Stephen Stills on vocals, lead guitar, and keyboards. Neil Young on vocals, lead guitar, harmonica, piano on Burned, and Do I Have to Come Right Out and Say It. Richie Furay on vocals and rhythm guitar. Bruce Palmer on bass, and Dewey Martin on drums, backing vocals on What It's Worth. On this version, a couple of songs have been moved around. I believe there's two songs moved around, and one song, which was on the original version, is not on this album, has been replaced. So I'm going to go with it the way I have it set up, but because I had written it down according to the original version, I may have to jump around a bit. So I do apologize for that up front. So the opening track has been moved to the back of the album. So if you're doing a vinyl, you've got 6 on the front of the vinyl and 6 on the back of the vinyl. Of course, this is a CD, so they're all on one disc. The opening song for the album, and I want to also say that all the tracks are between 2 and a little over 3 minutes in length. They're all fairly short. Definitely that time period was where this music was at. Lots of kind of poppy flavor to this album. It does have a folky nature to it as well. A couple psychedelic feels to it on occasion. A little bit of a country, maybe southern country rock feel at times as well. Lots of harmony vocals, very driven by harmony vocals. But some great lead stuff here too, and all the songs are absolutely memorable. There's no weak sisters on this album. This is a very strong album. I think for me, this is destined to be a masterpiece album. There's no doubt about it. So anyways, I'm going to break down the songs individually. I do like all 3 of the vocalists. They all have a different element to their voice, which is all strong. They're all strong elements. So the opening track, For What It's Worth, is the opening track on this album, but on the original album is down almost near the bottom of the second side. So we have Steve singing lead vocals here, with Richie and Dewey Martin doing backing vocals for this particular track. This is one of the stronger tracks on the album. In fact, I would venture forth to say this is the strongest track on the album. It's probably my favorite. There's a couple other that are real close though. It's got a clear sounding voice, as you will get on almost all the tracks, with some nice rhythms to this whole album, about to this song in particular. Catchy feel to the track, very, I was going to say commercial sounding, but it's probably just more of a poppy sound and just lends itself to that. At least commercial sounding and poppy for that time period. Backing vocals, and adding the backing vocals really add some strong harmonies here, and a little bit of a folky pop track as well. So really good song though, just love it. I think Steve's voice is good on this as well. Next up, I'm going to have to flip back now. I apologize for that. So the next track is for the next 3 or 4, it's pretty much in order, except for there's one in here that I'll just skip over. Next is Go and Say Goodbye. That's the next track. So what we got here is you got Richie and Steve here. Richie doing most of the lead parts here, but it's a pretty catchy, almost up-tempo Southern sound to it. A bit of a bubbly guitar sound as well. Catchy harmonies. The vocals are forward. Nice acoustic guitar part. Catchy, very prominent. Really good song. This one is one of the other two that I think kind of rivals the first song for my favorite. Third song on the album, Sit Down, I Think I Love You. This one, I don't like this as much, but it's still like very high on the list. Like it gets a 7 here easily. A kind of Richie and Steve here doing the vocals together. I think Richie's doing more of the lead part, but they do the harmonies together. Straightforward harmony vocals, kind of bubbly vocal dominated up-tempo track with some nice distorted guitar parts at times. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a picky guitar part, lead part, where he's just picking. It's not really I wouldn't call it a guitar solo. It's that country style stuff that you normally get when you do that picky guitar sound. Next up is Nowadays Clancy Can't Even Sing, the third track on the album. This is one of the longer tracks too, almost pushing that 3.5 minute length part. Richie on lead here with Steve and Neil on backing. This is one of the weaker tracks on the album, but by no means is this a bad song. For a lot of albums, this would be a strong song. Folky and harmony vocals here, song. Low end acoustic guitar parts. It gets slower towards the kind of the back part of this song, and then picks up again. Does have some talky like parts to it. It's singing, but it's almost like a voice. Does crescendo a few times too and pick up again as it goes along. It's a different type of song for this album, but it's good nevertheless. Next track up is Hot Dusty Road with Steve doing the lead, but him and Richie doing the harmonies together. It's a bit of a slow melodic up-tempo track. Vocals are clear, mid-range with some twin harmonies, really good. Has a bit of a poppy melody to it. The solo is a bit of a picky kind of a variety on the acoustic guitar, so really not too bad. So these two songs and the next song are probably the weakest on the album, but by no means are they weak at all. They're all really good. Everybody's Wrong is next. This is Richie with Steve and Neil again doing the backing here. Bass is forward to open this track. This is the first time you hear this here with some acoustic guitar backing. Vocals, once again, forward, multi-vocal parts as there are on most of the tracks on here. It's kind of a fast-paced, catchy pop track, I think. Now we go back to, now we flip to the other side. The opening track on the other side features Flying on the Ground is Wrong. This is Richie on lead with Steve and Neil doing the backing vocals. Another one of those really catchy high-end tracks. There's I think I gave 8s or higher on 5 of the tracks on this album. This is one of those for sure. Slow melodic guitar opening. The lead vocals are really catchy. I like them a lot. Harmony vocals are also strong and also catchy. Catchy melody with an up-tempo part. Neil does a different sound in his voice on this particular track, even though he's kind of in the background. I think he's trying to do more of a smooth sound to his voice. But overall, it's a pretty strong song. I think this is one of their better tracks as well, like I said. Next up is Burned. This is the first song driven by Neil's lead vocals with Richie and Steve doing the backing here. Another really good track. Vocals are typical of Neil Young here with some strong harmony vocals. Pretty heavy pop track, I think. Catchy sound. Bass and piano are also strong on this, and the piano's a little more prominent here than you've gotten on any of the other songs. The lead guitar, I think there's only a couple tracks on this album with piano in it. This is one of them. That's what I was trying to say. Lead guitar part and acoustic guitar part, pretty strong. Next up, you have Do I Have to Come Right Out and Say It. This is Richie with Steve and Neil doing backing here. This is one of the stronger songs as well. The vocals are clear and smooth. Maybe the best vocal song on the album. Richie, really good sounding voice here. Some excellent harmonies. Kind of a poppy ballad. It's slow. Kind of a slow hand guitar, acoustic guitar solo. Really strong song. I think it's the vocals here that make this song such a strong track. So number 10, we have to flip back because it's in the front part of the album. So next is Leave. This is Steve and Richie doing adding harmony to it. Steve doing the lead, Richie and him doing the harmony. Opening, very heavy guitar part, driven guitar part throughout the song. You got Steve's a little bit bitey in the vocals and a little bit dominant here, so his voice is a little bit harsh. Not as harsh as, probably harsher than it is anywhere else on the album. It's a catchy, fast-paced pop song. And the difference on this one is you've got this nice kind of heavy electric guitar part that you don't get on the rest of the album towards the back end. And he does it a couple of times, so it's really quite interesting. So that's Leave. Next track up, we have to go back to do the final two tracks. So the final two tracks are Out of My Mind. This is a well-known track by them, I think. Neil doing the vocals here. Richie and Steve doing the backing. It's clearly Neil's voice. You can hear it. It's got that kind of twangy kind of Neil sound to his voice. This also has some psychedelic feel to it. I think it's probably a keyboard. That's what it feels like, a keyboard part. Melodic track. Neil's voice stands out here. Very strong. Nice lead part. The harmonies are good as well. It's a bit of a melodic bite and a bit of a heavy track as well. And of course, there are a couple of times where that psychedelic keyboard jumps in and really adds a different flavor to this particular track. And then the final track on the album, one of the better tracks as well. Pay the Price is the name of it. Steve with Richie jumping in for the harmony vocals. It's got a bit of a country up-tempo feel to it. Some really good vocal parts here. One of the stronger songs for the vocals. Catchy. I think this is like a catchy pop track. Sporadic guitar parts throughout the song. Nice melody and very good, strong rhythm section to this album. This is a strong album. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, I say it's well worth it. Just a fantastic album. I wish they could have done like a couple of carbon copies of this would be great. But they have a couple of other albums, so I'm looking forward to hearing them. Well, I've heard them. I think this one's probably the better of the three, but you give it its due before you make your decision. So there you go. Buffalo Springfield's debut album, released back in 1967, at least this version of it. The original version done in 1966. So please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about this album or about Buffalo Springfield or about any of the members of Buffalo Springfield, you can do that in the comment section below. And we will see you all next Monday night for another look back at another classic rock album. Take care, have yourself a good evening, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.